Welcome. I am so glad that you are finally getting to hear and see this presentation that is supposed to save you lots of time on Facebook and actually get you started in marketing on Facebook. I'm Brenda Trott, and the reason I said finally is that this is about take five. Had technical issues with not Facebook but Google, who I work with every day in getting people's Facebook or excuse me, getting their websites found, and um, it was just a big challenge to get the right information up through Google Hangouts. So I'm recording this, not live. I'm recording this just independently so that you can actually see and hear it. I've had all sorts of technical issues. Again, my name's Brenda, and I am a social media strategist. My company name is Done For You Media, and what I do is handle people's social media, the business owners who understand that having a social media platform is really important to their business, and it can develop leads and it can help them with their relationships, but they have so much on their plate that they're letting that go and having me manage it for them. However, when I was networking with people, I have a real passion for smaller businesses and a lot of times solopreneurs, people that they're the only employee. They wear so many hats, and yet they said they knew they should be up there. They want to play with the big boys, but they're there's this stretch of time. You only have so much time to learn something new rather than, also implementing it. So this quick presentation is just going to show you some quick, easy ways to get started with Facebook that doesn't take a lot of time but can still help you build a presence and grow your business. Before I start the presentation, I just wanted to show you a quick photo here of my grandmother. That's myself and my grandmother. We call her Yai. And I did not always want to be on Facebook. I had already done the MySpace thing. I thought I'm too old for this stuff. I've got too much time, too many things to do, and now I work with it. It's pretty much half, at least one half of my career. And Yaya ended up getting a Facebook account. Well, she's in Chicago, I'm here in Houston, and so Yaya was able to see pictures of her grandchildren. I was able to see what she was doing and the family picnic pictures, and so I got myself a Facebook page. Well, of course, Facebook is excellent at getting people to come back again. And one of the things that they did was engross the rest of my family members, like my mother, into, and okay, I'll admit it, myself, into Farmville. So I was a Farmville addict. I'm a recovering Farmville addict. Played that game so much that I would drive down the street and the real trees were looking like I was ready to click on them to harvest them. So, they've got everything for every kind of genre, every kind of game that you can think of. They cater to the younger kids, and you can hear every rumor that you want that the younger ones are going on to things like Instagram, and that's true. But I'm telling you that 90% of people who are on the internet at all have a Facebook account. 90%. So there is a lot of reasons to be on Facebook. And another reason right here, I'll show you. It's a cute little cartoon that you can see. He says he's got a cone on his head, and it says it keeps him from looking at his phone every 2 seconds. And that might be funny, but the reality is that of the 1.5 billion people who are on Facebook, they spend an average of 5 hours a week on Facebook. And that does include people like myself who use Facebook for business, but the reality is that people are using Facebook all the time, and they're doing it right on their phone. They're checking their statuses on their phone several times a day. So I resisted it, but now I've made a career out of it, and what I'm basically telling you is that there are people on Facebook, and most likely some of those people are going to be in your marketing demographic. So basically they have the potential of being your customer, and probably your customers are on there as well too. So I told you a couple of reasons why Facebook. Another reason is that your posts, your business, your product all have the potential to go viral. You understand what viral is? When somebody gets the flu, it's a virus and it spreads like wildfire. Well, there are many cases where products have caught on fire and they go viral. And people that are very small and have done business in their home, their products become wildly known, and they become much more successful. Of course, the potential to go viral can be bad. We have a case where this young man had his luggage lost on one of the airlines. So he strummed a song on a guitar and posted it to YouTube, and that went viral on several networking sites. So the potential is there, and you need to be on it and you need to be on top of it, because it can be bad as well as good. So I will precursor that. You do need to make sure. But the truth is that whether you have a Facebook account for your business or not, you are probably already on Facebook. Your customers are probably already talking about you, and your customers are probably already posting things. So you might as well get on there and make sure that the things that are being presented are the things that you want presented, or that you have that you can find out if somebody is having a negative reaction to you, and you can try to handle that. But that's not what this presentation is about. It's really about getting started in Facebook. So another reason is that you have the ability. Remember I told you 1.5 billion people? It'd be pretty expensive to target all of those at one time, and you don't really want to. You've heard it before, the riches are in the niches, and basically you have a potential type of customer that you work with, and you can use Facebook to find them. And that also means that you can target your competitors' customers. So, for example, if you are selling baby clothes, is the example I've been using. If you sell baby clothes, then you might want to target people who like the baby magazine. You might want to target people who like Babies R Us, because they're already telling you that they're interested in products for babies. Now, maybe it's not for them. Maybe it's they're the grandparents or something similar, but the truth is that you know that it's a similar demographic, so you know exactly where they're hanging out. And here's the thing, you don't have to advertise on those people's pages. You just advertise directly to the people who like those pages, and those ads follow them around, which is, people tend to take those as universal signs. I keep seeing this over and over again. You also might already be aware, and this is what I tell my customers all the time, your customers need to see you. It used to be 6, sometimes it's up to 15 times. They need to see your brand, they need to see your product, your store name about 15 times before they even think about looking at you. So if your ad is in front of them all day long, every time they get on Facebook, or every week that they get on Facebook, they're eventually going to click on that and check it out and see what's going on. So these are all things that are potential that you can do with Facebook, and I promise you don't have to be spending this 5 hours a week to market your business, okay? We're going to do that relatively quickly. So what I intended to do with the live presentation here is to ask you, what keeps you from marketing with Facebook? When I've been out, offline and talking with people face to face, they tell me they just don't even know how to work with Facebook. They feel like they're technologically challenged, or they don't know how to start. Most of the people tell me they just have too much on their plate and they don't have the time to deal with it. And then others tell me, they've got their page set up and that kind of thing, but they have no idea what to post, what would, have the potential to go viral, what's the good thing to put up there, do they put personal things up, that kind of thing. So I'm going to address all of those issues for you right now, because today I'm going to help you start marketing on Facebook without spending a whole lot of time. The very first thing that you need to do is have a Facebook page. And this is a picture of a page that someone listed as their place of employment. And I clicked on it, and this is what you get. And this is pretty typical of things. When Facebook doesn't know, they can't associate your work with a page, they're going to put up this blanket page. And this one says 0 people like this, but I have seen it where, there's already half a dozen or more people liking a page that is really a ghost page like this. So you want to have something a little bit with a little bit more pizzazz. This is a great example. This is eWomen Network. This has to do with women. So, having a whole page full of women and one lucky guy right there is uh, it's a good focus on what they're doing. It's also very eye appealing. It's got lots of color. Um, there are some things that you can do with your Facebook page now that you weren't allowed to do before. So keeping up with the trends is something that is really, and I'm just gonna, it's not really your job to do that. It's my job. So there's no guilt about, not knowing what you're doing on Facebook or not getting started on Facebook, because the truth is that, either you're a plumber or, you're a business professional. You're not unless you are one of my competitors. Most of you are not social media people. That's not your job. So, it's not, it's okay that you don't know what the rules are and that kind of thing. That's what we're here for. So, anyway, it was before you couldn't put any wording on your photo at all, but now you can have your business name, you can have an address or a phone number and that kind of thing. You're not supposed to have a call to action, which would be like click here or press the like button, but I see plenty of them with little arrows that say, click like. And actually, I changed my photo banner just to get people to know that I had done this presentation. So, and I said, click here. So, and you're not supposed to do it, but looks like a lot of people are getting away with that right now. Once you've got your page set up, there's a couple basic things that you want to do. You want to make it really easy for people to find you. And one of the ways that you do that is you want to change your URL to an easy one. Otherwise, you've got a page number and it has a whole bunch of numbers at the end of it. It's really hard to put all those numbers on a business card, and if you do, it gets really troublesome to try to put all those numbers on a business card or to type them in. The likelihood of people going there to find you is not real big. So you want to change that to an easy one. And you do want to add those to your business cards. Now, some people ask me, about the QR codes on your cards, and I'm a real big fan of the QR codes, but I'm more of a fan of like going to a video. So if you want to have your video on your Facebook page and then the video, I prefer videos. However, you can set it up where you set your Facebook page up and then it's called a fan gate, and people would have to like your page before they get a coupon code. So it's a great incentive to grow that customer base. And the reason you want to do that is because once they've liked your page, you show up in their feed when you post things, and we're going to talk about that in a minute too. You also want to add your Facebook link to your signature in your emails to make it really easy, and don't forget to use the words "please like us on Facebook" or "please like me on Facebook." People will actually do things if you ask them to, but so many times you just see, here's your Facebook page, but you don't ask for the like. If you ask for the like, you're more likely to get it. And then I promised you information about something that hardly anyone is doing, and that's this one right here. You want to list your page as your place of business on your personal page. So you have to have a personal page before you can have a business page. And if you have a personal page, you have the opportunity to list your place of business where you work right now. And if you say it's where you work right now, that will be a hot link to that page. And if it can't find a page, then it goes back to the ghost page that I showed you earlier. So a lot of people tell me, well, I have a job, but I'm also have this business I'm trying to grow. And here's the thing. You can advertise your job, but wouldn't it be better to be advertising your own business? Remember, this is your personal Facebook page. So it's not owned by your company. And I think as long as they know that you're growing a business on the side, that you should have your own personal business listed on your page. And now what you want to do is you want to go check that, because some people think they've listed it, but it's really a ghost page. So go back and check and make sure that it's a good page. And all of those things right here, once you do them, you're done. You don't have to do these multiple times. You reorder your business cards, the same every way. So if you get this taken care of, these are all passive ways to grow that fan base just by letting people know that you exist. And oftentimes, when you go networking and you're spreading the word about yourself, people will look for you. So they'll either look for you, oftentimes they'll look for you and your personal page, and then they'll see your place of employment. So they'll, oh, they do this for a business, so they'll be able to find you. After you've got your page set up, the next biggest thing that you want to do is engage your fans. And what that means is you want them to be liking your posts, sharing your posts, commenting on your posts. And so you do that because the more they do that, the more they show up on their friends' pages liking your stuff. So they'll see either on their far right-hand side feed, or they'll see in their own feed, that so-and-so commented on your page. So they see that, then they're interested to see what your page is, and you have a likelihood of a like there, they're going to find you. So the other thing is that when you post things, you actually ask for likes. So like us if, or you can ask for likes on those posts and say, like this if you think this kitten is really cute. Like this if. Okay? Also, you can ask questions that are really easy to answer. So yes or no answers, or choice questions like Pepsi or Coke, Obamacare or not. You can get into real political things that people are so passionate about that you're going to get lots and lots of hits, but you want to use caution and make sure that you don't have a problem aligning your business with a political agenda. So just be really aware of what you're doing, and that's your personal choice as to whether or not you want to do that, because we live in a wonderful country where you can do that. That being the US, and I guess you could do that in the UK and Canada as well. You just have to decide for yourself whether or not you want to align your business with political agendas. But if you do, it gets lots of engagement usually. Okay, you can, I get asked this all the time. Yes, you can, and you're encouraged to share some personal photos, because the truth is that today's market wants to do business with people. They don't want to do business with brands. They want to see the face behind the curtain. And so when you pop out a few personal photos, they can be of your family, they can be of your pets, they can be of your background, your backyard, but just if you insert a bit of your own personality, not a whole bunch of selfies every day, because it is your business page. But if you interject just a bit of yourself, you're going to find more people are connecting with you. And then that whole know, like, and trust that you've heard so often is going to develop, because that's what Facebook is about. It's about developing. It's a social platform. It's about developing relationships with your customers and your potential customers. Okay. And then also you can add things that add value. So going back to the baby example, if you find articles about how to get your baby to sleep at night. Okay, that would be great if you were selling baby clothing. That would be a great thing that added value. And you would also see items about I don't know, maybe toy recalls, crib, things about new cribs, those kind of things. But the only thing is, you just want to get yourself into the mind of your customer. What would they find valuable? What would they share? What would they comment on? And you can add a question before everything that you post. So you can say, hey, I found this article about babies sleeping, and it says this. Do you agree or do you disagree with the article? And oftentimes people won't even click on the article, but they'll respond to what you said, or they'll respond to the title of the article. Okay, so I've given you, 4 things to do to engage your fans, but what is missing? And again, if this was live, I would usually have somebody hit the nail on the head. And what's missing is here, none of these things, it talks about promotion. None of these things are asking you for, any of the likes or anything. We're not asking people to buy your stuff. You're not telling people to come in, and we're not giving them coupons. So is that part of your Facebook strategy? Absolutely. But it's not all of it. Okay, this is just a part of what you're doing. So I'm going to give you a quick formula here. This is actually based on what we used to do in email marketing, and that is a ratio of 7 to 1. So what I'm saying is that for every 7 posts, then you can start with your promotion. Okay, so you can post a photo and then post a question, then post a link to an article, then post a quote, then post a quick tip. Trivia and math, they are great for getting engagement. We just can't help ourselves. We have a trivia question, we can solve it. We are going to comment on that. It's like painful if we don't, right? So, those kinds of things are awesome to post. And then you can post a promotion. And it's not always about buy my stuff. It can be, hey, click here to join our newsletter. Only the people on our newsletter get special deals. Or you can say, you can post, this is a special sale, or we've got this new product. You just don't want your whole page to be about that. And so this is obviously very flexible, but a lot of people like to use formulas, and so this is the formula I would give you. So use a picture, ask a question, post a link to an article, a quote, tips, trivia and math, and then promotion. And then you do want to make sure, because sometimes people forget, you do want to make sure that you are doing some promotions. Okay. Now here's the other thing. All 7 of these do not happen in one day. So, and oftentimes, right now, the sweet spot is really 2 posts a day. So Monday might be picture and a question. Tuesday would be article and a quote. Thursday would be tips and trivia. Thursday would be promotion. Okay, and as you're posting, you're going to get some data that tells you what days more people see your things and stuff like that. But if you start with a basic formula, then you can tweak it to the way it goes. But really, you don't want to be overly promoting. So you're not posting 7 things in a day just so that you can have 7 posts and include a promotion every single day. It's just not how it's designed. It's not what people want to see, and they're going to unfriend you, or unlike your page, or they're going to hide your stuff, and that's going to affect all the rest of the posting that you do. So this is one really important tip is, 2 or 3 posts a day. 1 is actually fine. If you want to post 1 thing every day just to get started, that's actually just fine. 2 is kind of the sweet spot where more people are, things are getting seen. And 3 is absolutely okay, especially if you have a larger audience, because only about a third of your stuff a third of your audience is going to see your things unless it's promoted. And I think I'm going to be talking about that again in a second. So how do you do it quickly? You can use brainyquote.com to find quotes that are already attached to pictures, and you can share them right from the page. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do with the quotes right there. So you can easily, in 5 minutes, you can grab the links to all of these quotes with pictures and drop them into a file. Trivia Cafe. This is kind of a little bit of a commercial site, so ignore everything in the middle and just go over to the left, and you'll see trivia in all sorts of genres. So it would be, trivia about math, or trivia about this, or trivia. You can see lots of trivia there that you can either credit triviacafe.com when you do it, or rewrite it. Trivia is trivia, so just have to look into that. Okay, Pinterest is awesome for getting great ideas about great tips and that kind of thing. They're all in a picture form, and if you post something, you can automatically post that to Facebook as well. And then it's just a great resource to finding things that get pinned often. That means people are liking it. Okay. Your trade journals, depending on what your niche is, you have access to different websites and things that you know about that I might not know about if I haven't worked with you or someone in your trade before. So you know where those are online, and you often will have Facebook pages with things that are aligned with you too, and it's perfectly fine to repost something. You hit that share button. You're benefiting that company by doing that. A lot of people are like, hey, they just stole my stuff and they just shared all my stuff. Well, you want that. You want them to be sharing your stuff. So that's absolutely fine. Look at other people's Facebook pages. Look at Baby Magazine if you sell baby clothes. So that is one of the things that you want to do as well. Now, you don't have to go to Facebook every single day to post one post. You can schedule them in advance. So you've grabbed your links from your document file and you can just put them in here, and then this is what your status looks like on a business page, by the way. It is not on your personal page. Right now, you still can't post, you can't schedule posts on a personal page. It's only on a business page. And so I've drawn the arrow to the little button that shows you this is the little clock that some people didn't know existed. So you can click on the clock and then tell it up to a year in advance that you can schedule your posts. So if you have 30 posts that you want to put on, it will take you probably 5 or 6 minutes to actually post, all the things that you have in a file. You just copy, paste them, and then schedule them. And there's also, that's how you do your 3 months of content in 30 minutes. It's really that simple. You just go to those websites that I talked about, find all those resources aware, and then copy that stuff into a file, and then put them up here and schedule them. And that's pretty much all there is to it. But if you want something even easier, you can use things like Hootsuite. Hootsuite is something that people in my profession kind of stay away from because it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But for people in my profession, we kind of stay away from it just because the algorithm, I hope I'm not saying too big a words here, but Facebook and Facebook's computers, I guess I should tell you, they find things valuable or not as valuable. Let me put it that way. So they don't show things at Hootsuite as often as they do if you schedule it through Facebook. That's probably the best way to describe it. But it's not so damaging that you need to avoid it completely. So if it works for you, it's free. Go ahead and climb on there and use it. Now the Buffer app is really cool because the Buffer app you can install, that goes onto your browser. And what happens is when you go to those social journals or you go to certain pages and you see something that your customers might enjoy, you can click that buffer button. You only get one social account associated with it. So if you associate it with your Facebook page, you click the buffer button and it will put it into a queue and it will post it for you on a, based on your schedule. And then Social Oomph is another one that you'll want to check into. So that is the easy button. You've got passive ways to get fans on your Facebook page, an easy to follow plan of 7 types of things to put in there, and the tools and resources to make it happen. So what's next? You need to learn how to grow that fan base. If you're sitting there with 25 fans, not doing you a whole lot of good. You learn how to choose. You need to learn how to choose content that is going to engage those fans and have the potential to go viral, and also help you grab those leads that you want to do too, because eventually you want to turn your Facebook fans into customers. That's really the whole idea. It's a process, but it's the idea. And then you need to figure out or find out the different ways to target customers. I mentioned there's more than one way to find where your customer is at online and on Facebook, so that you can target them if you use Facebook ads. And then you need to learn how to place those ads, and it's that's a little bit more back end and that kind of thing. So if those are the kinds of things you think that you can handle, the posting part, and now you're ready to grab on to the next step, I did put a teleclass together where I take you by the hand and we work together over 3 different evenings, and it's an hour each evening. And what happens is I'll show you how to do something, and then you go back and do it, and then after that you come back the next day and tell me about any issues that you had, or ask you can ask me the questions that you want to ask, and we take care of it, and then I teach you something new, then you go back and do it again. We do that over 3 nights, and we talk about all of this. I show you how to grow, how to grow your fan base, how to choose content, different ways to target your customers, which there's a number of ways that are so cool. I can't wait to get started on this class. It's going to be so fun. And then the different ways to place your ads and how to word those ads and how much they cost and how to budget it and all of that. So this is all coming up in that class. And I said teleclass, but it's really like it's not Google Hangouts, so we don't have to worry about that. It's on a different platform, and it's a private call where you get to watch my computer and you can see me going into Facebook and all of the stuff that I'm doing on Facebook, and you can watch and see how to make those things happen. And here's the thing. Honest to goodness, this is like, you got to know that I'm committed to this. Okay, I've put this together. Well, there's 2 reasons I've put this together. I told you, I had business owners telling me all the time that this is what they wanted, this is what they needed. So, so I'm going to go ahead and put this together for you. And at the same time, we are helping out a very special nonprofit. And without, dragging my story out too long, basically, I wish that this nonprofit existed or that I knew about it a long time ago, about 12, 13 years ago when my daughter was just 7 years old. And the reason is that I had taken her camping, and when we got back, and this is a long time ago, this is the answering machine, said it had a very sad message on there, and it let me know that Becca's father had passed away. And here she was, just, very young, and I had no idea how to help my child who thought that she was going to be going on a plane to see her father that very weekend. So the nonprofit group that I want to help is called the I Know Casey Wolf Foundation, and they actually help families that have this kind of circumstance, their grieving children and their families, in a grief camp, and they kind of help them get through things. It was a tough year for my family, at least, the start of some tough stuff. And so when you decide to invest in the class, then a portion of it goes to the I Know Casey Wolf Foundation. And this is what I started to tell you before, because this is like, I told them, I'm really dedicated to get this done, because this is like take 6. So because I know several of you have really tried, and I'm so happy that you did and that you're looking for the information, but it's frustrating to get technology that's only half working, and I didn't go through. I thought the other recording was working, it only went halfway through. So I do have a coupon code for you. If you put the code HANG in when you go to invest in this class, if you put the word HANG in, you're going to get some money off in the whole, all 3 days is only going to cost $99, and a portion of that goes to the I Know Casey Wolf Foundation. So it's a really good deal, and it's a real intimate class, so you're getting lots of access to me. So if you didn't get to see this and you've got some questions, please, you can email me at brenda@brendatrott.com. And I will do my best to answer your questions. If you could get those done before Friday, I would appreciate that, so that I know that it was timely and I don't have to continuously look for emails for people who have watched this video. So again, I hope it was valuable to you, and I hope that I can get your questions answered, and most importantly, I hope that you found a way to easily get all your stuff done on Facebook and why that's important. So thanks for joining.